On my way coming, we met like a lineup of bullion vans. I think I counted about 9 bullion vans with armored cars.
Apparently,
armored
this
trucks in
was
front.
much earlier than 8 a.m.
Yeah, a lot earlier than 8 a.m., moving, I don't know, towards the airport side. So I said, yes, faces will be smiling now, but the faces should not just smile during the campaign period. They should also smile after the elections. During this time, a lot of funds are being given out for, I don't know what projects that could be done between now and election. People are giving funds. I don't know whether it's bribery funds or funds for, anyway, election funds,
I thought you would mention national cake or something. You don't think that's what it is?
No, it's not a national cake because some of those with those funds are not in power yet. So it's international funds. Well,
so the cake may have come from elsewhere, right?
it's cool. It's me. While we're talking within the people I was with, and they said yes. It is the time where Nigeria enjoys before the election period. I mean, it's not supposed to be like this, but this is where we find ourselves. So.
I'm so proud of you. The fact that there was that temptation of, who knows, maybe rethinking whether or not you should come to work and then just join that convoy or something, regardless of where it was heading. Yet you looked at all that and you said, look, we've got to keep the main thing, and here you are at work.
Yes.
You deserve to be commended.
Oh, yes, clap for me.
It means money doesn't move you.
Nevertheless, how will I have joined? There were armored tanks in front and in the back.
You see, quite frankly, the fact of the matter is election periods are always very sensitive. The money are moving in different directions, and a lot of things that were not happening before now just begin to happen. To make it interesting, just yesterday, we saw that campaigns have been flagged off now, which means political parties and their actors can now go full throttle to do what they normally do, push narratives and so on and so forth. But like we always do every 4 years, they've been encouraged to say, look, you've got to keep it sane and very responsible. You may disagree with one another, with each other, but you've got to have to take responsibility for your choice of words, for your language overall, knowing that election is one-off, at least within that season, but life is going to always continue. So you don't say things that you naturally can't take back, and you have to live with the reality of it the rest of your life.
Yes, I think the election, general 2027 election is what is going to be on our top headlines till the election time. Nevertheless, we woke up in bad news with Bayelsa going on strike again, after 200 staff, 200 lecturers resigned in ABU last week. We still have not heard the update. Then now Bayelsa, because of 19 months arrears, they will take education with so much laxity in this country. Is a bit worrisome. We can say, because I just hope as they are taking their campaign serious, when they get into power, they also take education serious, because education is key. We had Mr. Adeleke yesterday with us saying what he went to learn in his PhD was what was taught in another country at the 100 levels.
No, at the high school level in the 1950s.
And it's so, then you can imagine it's so disheartening. Now at this period in time where everyone is going AI, our lecturers are going on strike because of 19 months. I mean, we should really take, so please, I think, to our politicians, as much as you take this politics time and election season serious, do hope to put it in your mind to also take education serious in the country, because that's the way forward.
I thought about something. I won't lie to you. I thought about, is it possible that politicians just are intentionally making education take the back seat? Or is it also possible that there are entrenched systemic problems that they quite honestly are not able to deal with, even within a window of 8 years? The reason I'm saying this will be that we see the budgetary allocation, whether at the national or state level, going into education. Most times, of course, abysmal. UNESCO says 26%, that's recommendation anyway, is what a country like Nigeria, and indeed several other countries, should be allocating to education. Again, just like you mentioned, because of the pivotal role education plays in national development. But again, we've seen politicians from one administration to the other saying, look, forget about what UNESCO is saying. Nigeria does not belong to UNESCO. UNESCO does not lead Nigeria. Nigeria does not answer or report to UNESCO. But I think even if you say, for example, you do not want to align with UNESCO, you do not for ideological or statistical reasons believe in that recommendation. The question is, by your conscience, do you think we are allocating, whether you're the president or the governor in the state, enough or substantially to education? Because education and health, they go hand in hand.
Yeah.
So if we have in 2026 a Minister of Health coming to say, look, forget about the billions you heard in the news that got allocated to my ministry. What I got was actually, in the final analysis, 36 million naira, right? So for a second, you fold your arms and you take a deep breath because your head would spin and you need to be in a certain headspace to allow that spin happen. But what that says, very sadly, is that we're not serious about national development. Our energy, our resources, as vital as they are more in the direction of every cycle of elections. And that's why you realize that at this point in time, politicians are putting their best foot forward. They are bringing their A game. They are so very, I mean, everything they're doing is clockwork because they know that winning the election is not an option. But by the time they get into office,
a different ball game.
They settle in.
You know, talking about education, as at this morning, it's headline news that parents are crying for the increase of school fees. Parents are crying, especially private schools.
Right.
The private schools don't have a choice because they upgrade on a daily. They upgrade all the time.
That space is competitive.
It is. And as a result of the upgrade, the resultant is because they have to pay for it.
Right.
You don't just have an upgrade just like that. And so the result is the students will have to pay for it.
Yeah.
You know, so parents are crying, meanwhile, our public schools are nothing to write home about. I heard in one public school, that they actually carry guns and knives, you know, so you don't have the without to go to, you don't have the finances to go to a private school.
Right.
And now it's not an option to take your child to a public school. So where do we lie? This morning I was coming and I was almost missing where I was going to. I saw about 6 children, very young boys, smoking shisha with all pride. I stopped the vehicle for a moment and I almost cried. That could have been my child. Now, you can't talk to those boys because you don't know how much intoxication they have in their brain. They are not in school. They are not well fed. They are
not meaningfully engaged
in the society. Now, these children I'm talking about are between the ages of 9 and 13.
Wow.
And it was disheartening. You know, so I think putting in funds, please, politicians, as you get to power, education is key. Education is key. At whatever level, education is really, truly key. Because if we get our public schools properly managed, you have an option.
Right.
You have a very good option. There was a time far back in Lagos, you had an option of taking your child to a government school because the government had made it so well that before you finish SS3, they have brought in professionals to teach them hard work, technical skills.
So you could learn a skill.
You learn. It is a must.
Right.
You know, they have prioritized it so much. They said because between secondary school and the university, there are possibilities you won't get admission. There's a possibility of a window of 2 to 3 years before you get. So what do you do with that?
What are you doing with that time?
That time, yes. So the governor came out to say, I won't say his name since we are not doing politics, and he said, you should have an option. By the time you learn this, these skills, you know the value of your customers. You know the value of humanity. That means you don't get rude. You know the value of money. So by the time you get to the university, when you're being tempted to go the other way, now because you know these values, you know, you are going to use your time wisely. You know, you go to responsible because the university, whether we like it or not, is like a smaller world. Right. It's a smaller world, so you're ready to move to around the world. Right. So I think this is educating is kind of not being very exciting.
Very interesting. You know, just
only this one.
Imagine thinking for a second about the growing number of several decades. and today the numbers don't look good. And nobody, whether the president or the governors or their political appointees or even members of the National Assembly, want to touch it with a 1,000-foot pole because it's not something to be proud of. I mean, for a country that is still grappling with power sector problems that are very deeply entrenched, so bad, we're told that there's a cabal there. How do you say you want to add out-of-school children? I can't remember the last time I heard the term out-of-school children in the president's mouth or in the mouth of the Minister for Education.
Or if you state that have the highest numbers,
about six.
in the mouth of most governors and respective commissioners. So that shows to you that it's a case of it wasn't me who created this problem. So people can come and press my neck over this issue. But it's our problem now. It's a collective challenge that we all must take responsibility for conduct. Because at the end of the day, how do you say you have several million no education, no clear path to the future, and then you expect that you're going to have a progressive country? It's quite interesting. We're taking a break anyway. This is quite light and extensive conversation. We'll be back shortly.
Watch Skyline News on MyComSat and Free TV. Stay connected wherever you are by streaming us live on the Free TV app, available for both iOS and Android devices via the App Store and Google Play. Follow us on all our social media platforms at Skyline TV News for breaking news, updates, and exclusive content. For more information, visit www.skylinetv.ng. Skyline News, beyond the headlines.
You can watch Skyline News on NightComSat and Free TV. Stay connected wherever you are by streaming us live on the Free TV app, available for both iOS and Android devices via the App Store and Google Play. Follow us on all our social media platforms at Skyline TV News for breaking news, updates, and exclusive content. For more information, visit www.skylinetv.ng. Skyline News, beyond the headlines.
Watch Skyline News on Mycomsat and Free TV. Stay connected wherever you are by streaming us live on the Free TV app, available for both iOS and Android devices via the App Store and Google Play. Follow us on all our social media platforms at Skyline TV News for breaking news, updates, and exclusive content. For more information, visit www.skylinetv.ng. Skyline News, beyond the headlines.
Many thanks for staying with us here on the morning call. Well, the issue of education is quite a complex one, especially because of the build-up of children who are not in school. Today, well, we may not have exactly the figures, but what we do know is that it doesn't look good. And one time I was talking with a professor, because we were discussing issues around labor, ASU, federal governments, and what have you. He said, look, as far as the leaders and the university unions are concerned, there's a deliberate agenda being executed, right, to, in his words, kill the public university system, and then, as it were, drive the private university system. Because by his own assessment, the bulk of the people who own these private universities, they are politically exposed people, all right? And as such, what they're doing is, in order to drive traffic to our private universities, let's ensure that the public universities become dysfunctional. And so when that happens, parents and guardians realize that, oh, hold on a second, so this is not working apparently. So what alternative do we have? They say, okay, well, there are private universities. And to buttress his point, he says, look, does it not shock you in the last 10 years, the proliferation of private universities that we have seen? He says, do you think they are just happening randomly? He says, no, it's intentional, it's deliberate, it's strategic. I was dumbfounded for a second.
But that's not fair for people who cannot afford. These private universities are very expensive. I heard the cheapest you can get. The cheapest you can get is about 800,000. 800,000. You know, that was what happened in the primary education.
Right.
Secondary education, and now the universities. So they are trying to kill no school for the poor man. Right. Because on average, the difference, I don't think there's a middleman, there's an average person in Nigeria. It's either you're poor or you're wealthy. And the wealthy, I cannot say I have not researched, so it's not a determining factor. But standing from a point of the other side of Nigerians, you can say 90% of rich people are politicians. The other 10 or 15 are businessmen who have also mingled with politicians. Right. So somehow there's government funds inside. So if you don't belong to that cabal, taking your child to easily to the university becomes
very challenging.
Very. So I asked severally, majority of civil servants in Nigeria are living on some loans. I actually asked some few people, and some said their salary comes as minus. Yes.
So assuming your salary is, let's say, 150,000, by the time it comes, it's minus 27,000.
Thank you. So you have another 27,000 to look
from
for
the next salary. So that is even practically worse than living from hand to mouth.
No, you're not actually, because you have to put your child in a good school. Now you put in a public school, which is, let's say, 10,000 naira. Right. Then he comes back with another attitude. He comes back smoking. It's better not to take him to school. Now you fix your hands together and say, okay, I'll take him to a private school. Can you afford it? Can you afford it?
Right.
To take your child to a private school? Honestly, the government of our time, they shouldn't do this because it's going to take generations for these things to be amended. Anyway.
It's quite a depressing, if you like, commentary, but it's our problem now, and we've got to talk about it. We've got to deal with it. You're watching the live broadcast of Morning Call here on Skyline News. We're taking a break. Up next is newspaper review. Do stay with us.
You can watch Skyline News on Nightcomsat and Free TV. Stay connected wherever you are by streaming us live on the Free TV app, available for both iOS and Android devices via the App Store and Google Play. Follow us on all our social media platforms at Skyline TV News for breaking news, updates, and exclusive content. For more information, visit www.skylinetv.ng. Skyline News, beyond the headlines.
Watch Skyline News on MyComsat and Free TV. Stay connected wherever you are by streaming us live on the Free TV app, available for both iOS and Android devices via the App Store and Google Play. Follow us on all our social media platforms at Skyline TV News for breaking news, updates, and exclusive content. For more information, visit www.skylinetv.ng. Skyline News, beyond the headlines.
You can watch Skyline News on Nightcomsat and Free TV. Stay connected wherever you are by streaming us live on the Free TV app, available for both iOS and Android devices via the App Store and Google Play. Follow us on all our social media platforms at Skyline TV News for breaking news, updates, and exclusive content. For more information, visit www.skylinetv.ng. Skyline News, beyond the headlines.
Watch Skyline News on Nicomsat and Free TV. Stay connected wherever you are by streaming us live on the Free TV app available for both iOS and Android devices via the App Store and Google Play. Follow us on all our social media platforms at Skyline TV News for breaking news, updates, and exclusive content. For more information, visit www.skylinetv.ng. Skyline News, beyond the headlines.
You can watch Skyline News on Nicomsat and Free TV. Stay connected wherever you are by streaming us live on the Free TV app, available for both iOS and Android devices via the App Store and Google Play. Follow us on all our social media platforms at Skyline TV News for breaking news, updates, and exclusive content. For more information, visit www.skylinetv.ng. Skyline News, beyond the headlines.
Let's turn quickly to the headlines now on the morning call, everyone. We are making that call, first of all, from the Daily Sun, our newspaper this morning. I just sent the nameplate. It says 2027 polls, security threats dwarf peace accord. The writer tells us over 2,500 security incidents in 14 months cast doubt on elections, and that's quite understandable, because I mean, how do you have this much number of security incidents within a space of 14 months? And naturally, that will rub off in a way that is very adverse on the forthcoming round of elections. Police arrests mastermind of Mango attack, hunt fleeing suspects. That's a very good place to start. A big one, gun battle in Osogbo. Gunmen attack Adeleke's convoy. Security operatives repel attack at Atoja's palace. Davido, incident not connected with us. Well, you can find context on page 4. That's only if you read up details. On the left pane of the front page, 2027, Naji, no threat to Mbas re-election in Enugu. That's former governor of the state here, Nnamani. Speaking, of course, we understand that the former Minister of Science and Technology, Chief Uche Nnaji, wants to go head-to-head, or if you like, neck-to-neck with the incumbent governor, Dr. Peter Mbah, in 2027. All right? Page 29 has those details for you. Federal government to channel unremitted pension, EFCC recoveries to education sector. I'm sure Moreno is happy now because she complained about funding constraints and other problems with the sector, but federal government is responding to you so fast. Are you not impressed?
Oh, I am.
All right. Senate grills NFF, NSC over poor performance of Nigerian football teams. All right. It tells us holds emergency meeting with Diko Guso. Page 8 features details. Someone gives 20 million naira cash gift each to LASU's best graduating students. That's a bit of an incentive there. Tinubu orders 5-year national security threats assessments, defense plan. What difference will that make? Find out for yourself on page 28 of today's issue of the Daily Sun newspaper. All right, you need to read up details, by the way, as we move on to the Nation newspaper now.
All right, Nation newspaper now. The top left says Adeleke okays 500 million fund for violence victims. People who have suffered in the
on account of this last weekend's election.
Yes. You know, the next one says Wike sets December deadline for completion of 10 key projects. Interesting. Pension revision receiving attention, General Musa tells retirees. So they are now smiling. Now, major headline here says Oyedele, how 15.8 trillion subsidy removal gains were utilized. The minister there will explain. And if you want to read more of that, you read that in page 8 of the Nation. Now, it has one writer said, Finance Minister gives scorecard. Next stage will focus directly on benefits to homes. I think people are waiting that. So you can read more of that on the Nation newspaper. Now, down here it says, APC yet to decide on Oshun poll, says Yilwatda. Okay. Well, the country has decided, so we are still...
I think there are those who strongly believe the fact that the president has congratulated Adeleke does not automatically or necessarily bring closure to that issue.
So, but he has won, and he will soon be given the certificate.
He was given yesterday.
He was given certificate yesterday. So I think it's all okay. At the top here, sorry, it says Tinubu orders transfer of recovered loot on claimed dividends to NEL fund. That's talking about loans for students. Yes, that's a good one towards education, because education is key in every nation.
It is.
That's all in the
But I think you have one on the foot of the page.
It says Senate summons NLC, NFF over poor performance of national teams. The football team has been headlines now, how they performed badly, and the technical... Yes, they missed the FIFA World Cup. The team has been sacked. So they are calling everyone to order. It's an emergency because it has not been done.
I think the calls are becoming a bit numerous. On the one hand, we understand the FCC has made a call, for want of better words, and now there's that conversation with Gusau and Diko going on, and then of course now the National Assembly is also making its own call. That's what we talk about, public accountability. You can't hold a public office and expect to be insulated against accountability and scrutiny.
That's good. I hope that in the near future they'll also call politicians to face the same thing.
What touches one should touch all.
So the next one we have is the business day today.
Right. So that's where we get to follow the money for you here on the program. Top right corner first. It says truck queues swell at Dangote refinery as marketers chase cheaper diesel. Quite an interesting read on page 31, or 31, I should say. Nigeria's late budget reports raise fiscal transparency concerns. We understand we're running 2 budgetary cycles. Some people even say 3 side by side. Quite a shame. Cement price spike reigns on parade of home builders. Wages, debt servicing swallow Nigeria's 15.8 trillion naira subsidy gain. Universal Insurance shareholders face 13.6 billion naira loss after Nikon pulls. I was going to say pulls the plug, but it's actually licensed. Yeah, it's quite concerning. And here you have some very beautifully laid out infographics. Says how Nigeria spent subsidy savings. I'm sure that's coming from the office of the Minister of Finance, who doubles as the Honorable Minister coordinating the economy. Those are all the headlines from the business day today. Next, I'm sure we have the Vanguard newspaper.
Right, at the Vanguard newspaper at the top overall says Nigeria target 3 million BPD, $50 billion investment, 21st 5 TCV gas reserve, says the federal government. Okay. Pray the investment works and brings out a lot of results. Now, next down beneath it says accolades for Vanguard, Uncle Sam, our staff, ex-staff, launch book, Unite Plan, Media Library. I think the media library is needed. Well,
of course, why not?
We'll put our hands together for Vanguard. All right. FEC approves forensic audit to identify fake agencies and ghost employees. It's high time.
Right.
It's really high time. Now, underneath the big picture there, the big caption says allocations can't guarantee prosperity for states. States have been receiving so much allocation right now, but it depends on how you use it.
Yes.
Says government has three riders. One says government saved 15.8 trillion naira from subsidy removal. Then note, wage bill exceeded subsidy savings. Expenditure
we have to find a way to explain it.
Yes. Accounts for 30 trillion subsidy windfall. Now Atiku challenges Tinubu. He has politics has started now. Now down here said Tinubu appoints Abel Enitan as head of civil service
of the Federation.
Yes. So
that happened yesterday in the course of the Federal Executive Council meeting, which, by the way, the president himself chaired. We understand that the current head of service of the Federation, talking about Dr. Esther Watson Jack, will have a term or tenure ending this month. So, as they say, life does not allow for vacuum.
Yes.
Right.
All right. So the last one we have is hoodlum shoot at Adeleke's convoy in Osogbo. You find that on page 6. That happened yesterday in the evening, but from them they said no one was really hurt. So you can read all of the stories in the Vanguard newspaper today.
Let's look at the Nigerian Tribune for you, everyone. We begin with the star headline here. It says, Tinubu approves EFCC recovered loot on claims dividends for student loans. While a handful of riders with it, as FEC approves 170 billion naira for National Library, 15.8 trillion naira fuel subsidy savings shared among federal government, states, local governments. That's attributed to the Minister of Finance, Taiwo Oyedele, says reform saves Nigeria from economic crisis. All of those details you will find on page 13. Left end of it, marketers blame multiple operational costs for high cooking gas retail prices. Tinubu to address world leaders at UN General Assembly September 23rd. So Nigeria is going back there with its contingents, which is the annual ritual. All right. Well, we'll go further down, something about health here. Bottom left, health. Common pesticides alter timing of girls' puberty. Study alert. So that will make a very enlightening read on page 5 of the Nigerian Tribune today. What more do we have? It has a kicker. It says, Osogbo shooting. Police begin investigation. Confirmed killing of 60-year-old man. For no fault of his. Incident occurred after Adeleke's visit to Atoja. INEC presents certificate of return to Adeleke. Deputy Governor unveils 500 million naira fund for Osun pre-election violence victims. But then again, we need to remind the governor at this point in time, very importantly, that he had said before the election, just days before, that he would probe election-related violence, and we do hope that it doesn't fall short, all right? Because it's not enough to just give out money, no matter how much we're talking. But you see, life is sacrosanct, and no amount of money can, where it equates to life, all right? So those are all the headlines we have for you this morning. But I think we have a couple of them just above the nameplate. 3 actually, top left. Tinubu appoints Enito as head of civil service. On page 13, military retirees protesting Abuja. What's the issue? It says demand consequential pension adjustment. These things are not straightforward. When you say you're bumping minimum wage, you say, okay, we're doing an upward review of minimum wage. It looks good, whatever percentage it may be. But then the challenge is you now have to also do what they call consequential adjustments. How does it apply to those who are not within the minimum wage brackets, right? How does it affect those who are up the ladder, so to say, and things like that? And then also those who are out of service, the retirees, how do you also implement in such a way that we have fairness, we have equity, and what have you? I'm sure that's what this is about. And finally, we have one there. It says, let me see what that says now. It says plateau killings. Military Relocates. Let's see that tactical operations. Mango arrests suspected mastermind. You see, again, it's Plateau State, and you're wondering what exactly are the triggers in this case? Why is it that 1 minute there's some semblance of peace, and the next minute things go really crazy in that part of the country? We've seen, for example, under the leadership of Governor Caleb Ofuang, how there has been several declarations of a state of emergency, especially in this Mango local government. But then there's Bokos as well. But we do hope that these places, Benue, Zamfara, the Northeast altogether, will also find a peace real soon. Please be sure to read up details so you can stay ahead of the news. Those are the headlines from the Nigerian Tribune. Moreno has details from the Guardian newspaper.
From the Guardian here at the top left, it says 2027, Nigeria risks revenge of the poor over worsening hardship. Utomi warns. Yes, so you read more of that, page 3 of the Guardian newspapers. That's Utomi's own warning to Nigerians.
Right.
Now, 9.5 trillion salary bill, FEC targets ghost workers, payroll fraud. Seems there's a lot of hunt against ghost workers,
right,
which is very, very necessary.
Both at the state and the federal levels.
Yes. 2027, look beyond campaign slogans. Obi challenges Nigerians. Look beyond this morning. I saw one slogan. It read so boldly. Then I saw pay your taxes. I go like, okay, you're being truthful now. Okay, now major headline here says state spending faces scrutiny over 15.8 trillion windfall citizens welfare. You see all that much money, right, and you don't know where it's going to. Prices are rising, so citizens are. So you read more of that in page 6 to get an understanding on how everything was split up. There's a diagram here to help explain. Now, down here it says at the right side, El Rufai's bid to transfer trial fails as Kaduna CG backs Justice Kobo. El Rufai and his family have been fighting that, and we can only pray for his health. Now, read more of that, page 8 of the Guardian newspaper. Now, down beneath it says, military pensions. Pensioners storm Defense Ministry to protest 12-month arrears. Okay. Some few weeks back, the federal government increased. Tinubu signed the agreement to increase their salary. So pensioners are coming to protest. So read more of that protest in page 8. Now, down left it says, Tinubu orders security overhaul amid concerns over policing gun violence. Though it has reduced now than it used to, the happy trigger problem. You read more of that, page 6, then beneath it, it says pre-election anxiety. Profit taking wipe 5 trillion from NGX after 160 trillion peak. For some time now, it has been on the peak. Now it has gone down.
It's gone bearish.
So there's a lot of fear.
Right.
Now, in between here, say Mango massacre. Northern senators reject condolences, demand action. It's high time.
No better way to put it.
It's high time, just straight and forward. And that is all we have on the Guardian newspaper this morning. So you can read it up to get more understanding. The next is This Day newspaper.
And it turns out to be our very last paper this morning. Above the nameplate, it says Tinubu orders AFCC to channel seized loot or claims dividends to Nel Fund. Hopefully we are putting our money where our mouth is. Two writers say Alausa says only legally cleared monies to be transferred. That's attributed to the Minister of Education. All right, federal government to decentralize attempted seaside targets 15% reduction by 2030. The big one, okay, well, before the big one, there's one again to the top right, says thugs attack Adeleke at Atoja Palace soon after governor received certificate of return. As expected, we have it replicated across news dailies today. Oyedele gives account of federal government's reforms after president's directive. About half a dozen riders with it says fuel subsidy savings added 15.8 trillion naira to Federation accounts in 30 months. And now that puts some demand on the governors to begin to talk to their people as to how they're spending these monies. Discloses federal government borrowed 11.9 trillion naira. Subsidy removal prevented more debts. Reviews central government received 5.4 trillion naira. State, local governments got 10.4 trillion naira. Admits poverty reduction still unfinished business. says 9.39 trillion naira on federal wage adjustments. Atiku insists Tinubu must account for 30 trillion naira subsidy savings. Well, that goes without saying now, doesn't it?
Yes.
So whom much is given, much is expected, right? Those are all the headlines from across the papers we presented this morning. Please take initiative, take responsibility, read up details for yourself, and remember that Skyline News does not contribute to these headlines or their papers. We'll take a break. Coming up shortly is Sports Update.
Watch Skyline News on MyComsat and Free TV. Stay connected wherever you are by streaming us live on the Free TV app available for both iOS and Android devices via the App Store and Google Play. Follow us on all our social media platforms at Skyline TV News for breaking news, updates, and exclusive content. For more information, visit www.skylinetv.ng. Skyline News, beyond the headlines.
You can watch Skyline News on Nightcomsat and Free TV. Stay connected wherever you are by streaming us live on the Free TV app, available for both iOS and Android devices via the App Store and Google Play. Follow us on all our social media platforms at Skyline TV News for breaking news, updates, and exclusive content. For more information, visit www.skylinetv.ng. Skyline News, beyond the headlines.
Watch Skyline News on MyComsat and Free TV. Stay connected wherever you are by streaming us live on the Free TV app available for both iOS and Android devices via the App Store and Google Play. Follow us on all our social media platforms at Skyline TV News for breaking news, updates, and exclusive content. For more information, visit www.skylinetv.ng. Skyline News, beyond the headlines.
You can watch Skyline News on Nightcomsat and Free TV. Stay connected wherever you are by streaming us live on the Free TV app, available for both iOS and Android devices via the App Store and Google Play. Follow us on all our social media platforms at Skyline TV News for breaking news, updates, and exclusive content. For more information, visit www.skylinetv.ng. Skyline News, beyond the headlines.
Watch Skyline News on MyComSat and Free TV. Stay connected wherever you are by streaming us live on the Free TV app available for both iOS and Android devices via the App Store and Google Play. Follow us on all our social media platforms at Skyline TV News for breaking news, updates, and exclusive content. For more information, visit www.skylinetv.ng. Skyline News, beyond the headlines.
You can watch Skyline News on Nightcomsat and Free TV. Stay connected wherever you are by streaming us live on the Free TV app, available for both iOS and Android devices via the App Store and Google Play. Follow us on all our social media platforms at Skyline TV News for breaking news, updates, and exclusive content. For more information, visit www.skylinetv.ng. Skyline News, beyond the headlines.
Watch Skyline News on MyComSat and Free TV. Stay connected wherever you are by streaming us live on the Free TV app available for both iOS and Android devices via the App Store and Google Play. Follow us on all our social media platforms at Skyline TV News for breaking news, updates, and exclusive content. For more information, visit www.skylinetv.ng. Skyline News, beyond the headlines.
You can watch Skyline News on Nightcomsat and Free TV. Stay connected wherever you are by streaming us live on the Free TV app, available for both iOS and Android devices via the App Store and Google Play. Follow us on all our social media platforms at Skyline TV News for breaking news, updates, and exclusive content. For more information, visit www.skylinetv.ng. Skyline News, beyond the headlines.
Watch Skyline News on MyComsat and Free TV. Stay connected wherever you are.
Good morning and welcome to Kickoff on Good Morning Call. Today we discuss about Nigerians in the transfer market, and also the Premier League starts tomorrow, Friday, 21st August 2026. Joining me is my co-host, Mr. Austin.
Good morning, I'm Mr.
Good morning. Yeah, Nigerians are busy in the transfer market, especially in Europe, where Nigerians have been sold to other players.
Yes, actually, is a nice thing. Like, it's a plus to Nigeria. You know, Super Eagles have been doing well when it comes to transfer markets, and now you see the likes of Awoni from Nottingham Forest to Coventry, and then you see the likes of Onyeka, you know, from Brentford to Coventry, and you see the likes of Akko Adams from Sevilla to Venezia in Italy. You see the likes of Kelechi Iheanacho from Celtic. Do you get it? Now, these are teams. No, Nigeria are doing well when it comes to sports. That's just it. You cannot take it from them. When it comes to sports in Europe, Nigerians are doing well, and the transfer market is favoring them. You could see 2 Nigerians, Super Eagles, in Coventry, and it's a big team, and it's a good team for Nigeria. Can you imagine how the 2 of them will play? They will play like brothers, and they want to show themselves. Do you understand? So it's a plus to Nigerian Super Eagles, a plus to our boys that are doing very good, and sincerely, I really
Still, Victor Osimhen rumored going for Arsenal.
Yes, till now, Arsenal is still dragging. That's, for me, people are saying it's rumor, but for me, anything can happen. Last day of the transfer window, how many weeks we have? We have 2 weeks to go. Anything can happen. And I'll be very happy if Osimhen will come back to England. Do you know what it means that Osimhen is playing in England? That's big TV, big screen. And it's a very good thing. They are still dragging Osimhen. That means Nigerian players are good out there. It's a nice thing.
Well, that's good. Well, we'll still talk about the Premier League. It starts tomorrow. Arsenal facing Coventry City. 2 Nigerians in Coventry City.
Yeah. Actually, it's going to be a tough game. For Arsenal, it's going to be a tough game for Coventry. Do you get? Coventry are coming from a relegation promotion team. You know, they've been promoted to the English Premier League, and then playing Arsenal, defending champion. Remember that they are also champions. You know, signing players like Awoni. Despite the injury he had in his days in Nottingham Forest, Awoni is a very good striker, a big striker, a bully striker. And then you have the likes of Onyeka, a good midfielder. Do you understand what I'm saying? So that game is going to be superb. That game is going to be interesting, and I really, really like it. Tomorrow, Premier League.
Let's talk about the Coventry. 25 years not in the Premier League. Now back to Premier League. The Frank Lampard side with new signings. Do you think they can do bad to Arsenal?
Yeah, actually, you know, 25 years is a big years, you understand, 25. Somebody that's 25 years can, like a lady, supposed to be a married person, like for 25 years, they're coming back to the Premier League. They will not want to go back. Like the Sunderland will be coming, not 25, like come.
League starting tomorrow, 21st August 2026. With this, we come to the end of the show on Kickoff on Skyline TV.
By streaming us live on the Free TV app available for both iOS and Android devices via the App Store and Google Play. Follow us on all our social media platforms at Skyline TV News for breaking news, updates, and exclusive content. For more information, visit www.skylinetv.ng. Skyline News, beyond the headlines.
You can watch Skyline News on Nightcomsat and Free TV. Stay connected wherever you are by streaming us live on the Free TV app, available for both iOS and Android devices via the App Store and Google Play. Follow us on all our social media platforms at Skyline TV News for breaking news, updates, and exclusive content. For more information, visit www.skylinetv.ng. Skyline News, beyond the headlines.
Skyline News on Nicomsat and Free TV. Stay connected wherever you are by streaming us live on the Free TV app available for both iOS and Android devices via the App Store and Google Play. Follow us on all our social media platforms at Skyline TV News for breaking news, updates, and exclusive content. For more information, visit www.skylinetv.ng. Skyline News, beyond the headlines.
You can watch Sky News on Nightcomsat and Free TV. Stay connected wherever you are by streaming us live on the Free TV app, available for both iOS and Android devices via the App Store and Google Play. Follow us on all our social media platforms at Skyline TV News for breaking news, updates, and exclusive content. For more information, visit www.skylinetv.ng. Skyline News, beyond the headlines.
Watch Skyline News on Nicomsat and Free TV. Stay connected wherever you are by streaming us live on the Free TV app available for both iOS and Android devices via the App Store and Google Play. Follow us on all our social media platforms at Skyline TV News for breaking news, updates, and exclusive content. For more information, visit www.skylinetv.ng. Skyline News, beyond the headlines.
You can watch Skyline News on Nightcomsat and Free TV. Stay connected wherever you are by streaming us live on the Free TV app, available for both iOS and Android devices via the App Store and Google Play. Follow us on all our social media platforms at Skyline TV News for breaking news, updates, and exclusive content. For more information, visit www.skylinetv.ng. Skyline News, beyond the headlines.
right to the conversation this morning on the program. Let's turn to sub-nationals and the issues that are related to them. The last 3 years we're seeing not just President Bola Tinubu, but the federal government say that, look, the dynamics have changed fundamentally in terms of the monies that go straight to states and by extension the local governments. And they say that can largely be attributed to, first, the very radical reforms that the president introduced right from day one. Second, the fact that there has been a suspension of payment of subsidies, and that has been right from the very day the president got inaugurated and took over the leadership of this country. And the president has never missed words by saying that, look, we have more money going to state governments. And as such, much as we want to hold the federal government accountable for certain things, especially within the mandate of the federal government, or if you like, within the different categories of who should do what, we must also realize that the states have rules that they must, by way of obligation, discharge. All right, and that has never been more important as it is now, given that the states now have more money. And somebody jokingly said a couple of days ago that governors don't talk much anymore about financial constraints and a drop or a decline in monthly allocation. But the question is, while the governors may not be forthcoming regarding those figures in terms of what comes to them every month, do the people hold their respective governors, or if you like, state governments, accountable enough to say, look, let's see if we're putting our money where our mouth is? That's what the conversation is this morning. And add to that the fact that there are now issues around states that are highly indebted. The ranking came out not too long ago, and there are certain states that are believed to be pathetically, if you like, indebted. And as such, many people say it's worrisome, given that these monies are essentially borrowed on behalf of the citizens or the people in those states. And second, they also brought that if these governors are delivering the dividends of democracy in such a way that is commensurate with the borrowing that they are doing. Incidentally, one of the states in the eye of the storm in this regard is Edo State, where the governor has been said severally to say, look, he has not only been paying salaries and pensions as and when due, he has also been doing an amazing work, they say, regarding delivering infrastructure and other aspects of dividends of democracy without borrowing a kobo. That's what we have heard the last almost 2 years that he's been in office. Of course, that will be 2 years by November 12th later this year. Why is it in the news that Edo State has moved from a good to a bad place in the ranking of states across Nigeria that are highly indebted? This morning, we're joined by the Special Advisor, Public Affairs and Media to Governor Monday Okpebholo, Honorable Brimo Haruna, to help us find sense and perspective in this conversation. A very good morning to you. It's good to have you on the program.
Thank you, Oye. Always my pleasure to be
Great. I want us to, not just Edo State yet, but state governments in particular. We had seen in several cases in this country where even the Minister of Finance and the Debt Management Office had come out to say that, look, states would have to tread carefully in terms of how they borrow so they don't leave their states in a worse place by the time these governors leave office. Today, I've spoken to you severally about those states, and what we have always heard is the governor, Senator Monday Okpebholo, is not only defraying the debt he met when he assumed office in 24, but he has also been working, delivering dividends of democracy without having to borrow. But it will appear that position now has been, if you like, debunked with these reports by Phillips Consulting.
No, I think these are two things. Phillips Consulting talks about fiscal governance momentum.
Right.
Yeah, which was reactionary, evaluating the past financial activities and related fiscal indices of governance.
In the states?
The past.
The past, does that mean before government?
Of course. They gave their reports a few weeks ago, and the report covers 2023-2024 financial position balance sheet of Edo State. Unfortunately, the errand boys of the opposition party or the remnant of the Obaseki group of the PDP, they quickly went to town with the rating that Edo is carrying last in that regard regarding the Philip consulting report.
Right.
But we quickly clarified the issue and made it known to the public that this report relied on indices, information, and data of activities of the former government from 2020 to 2024. Remember, Governor Modupe was sworn in mid-November 2024. So if you're talking of a balance sheet that covers 2020-2024, more than 90% belongs to the former administration. And the criteria used in drawing their evaluation, the Philip Consulting, they talked about momentum in debt servicing, momentum in IGRO position, and so on and so forth.
Right.
And in their own report, they alluded to the fact that Edo was highly indebted to the tune of almost 700 billion as at 2024. You understand? And our IGRO was very low, 6.7 billion as at 2024-2023. Now, all this was before Governor Monday Okpebholo came into office. Today, our IGRO is hovering between 10 to 13 billion monthly. You understand? As at September last year, we already hit our projective target in IGRO generation, which was, we've already beat their year-in, year-out comparison. We have already beat what they got. In 9 months, we've already gotten what the former administration got in 1 year in IGRO. You understand?
Right.
And in this 2026 budget, the Senator Modupe-led administration projected an IGRO of more than 160 billion, another 160 billion in a PPP arrangement, cumulatively with the 430 billion in fact expectation, making up the 937 billion fiscal budget.
Almost $1 trillion.
Exactly, and in that budget, there is no room for deficit financing from borrowing, direct loan taking, or bond financing. Rather, it drove its budget deficit with PPP arrangement, which is being revealed in Edo State today with the $15 million 100 megawatt electricity project that is going on in Ologbo, where the state government is having a 10% equity, $3 million Zeta automobile, tricycle and related spare part manufacturing assembly plant in Sapele Road that is ongoing, where the state government also have a 10%. We have the $100 million investment from agricultural expansion program of Presco palm oil that is ongoing. These are not promissory notes. These are direct foreign investments happening in Edo State. We're not talking of the local direct investment in the mining sector. The JVs and PPP arrangement that just been signed across just 4 companies, one from China in the mining sector in Akoko Edo North, in Akoko Edo local government, a few days ago, is about $250 million. If annexed and realized, you can imagine where the state will be in that regard. And all this has boosted IGRO. And the fact that the governor has also carried out fiscal activity in areas of IGRO, tax revenue generation, whereby he has digitized the system, automated the collection process, and now with the latest law of unifying revenue consolidation account for Edo State, we now have one Edo, one account, one revenue, where every other revenue generating.
I'm just curious, was that always the case even before Governor Okpebholo came on?
It was not, no.
We understand that the governance of the state had already been automated by his...
Automation is different from unification of revenue accounts. Now, every revenue source, we had, for example, Ministry of Land and Housing or Survey, they are revenue generating agency one way or the other.
Right.
The Ministry of Environment, you want to pay fees for pollution, hazard and safety. All those fees that were being paid by companies and related businesses were handled by Ministry of Environment. We had the Edo GIS that deals with Edo Geographical Information System that deals on lands, CFO and co. There are agencies that have been collecting revenues because of their activities. They have designated accounts, multiple accounts. Right now we are having a unified revenue collection system, and it's passed into law and signed to law 2026, and the Edo State Land Revenue is now being mandated to be the only singular agency or outfit of government that collects these taxes, that administer it and implement the process of collection.
I want us to take a break. You are going to continue this trajectory because there's a question I want to put in front of you just after this short break because there's so much to unpack in this regard. There are issues around borrowing, of course, the numbers around it as well. And then the moves now being made by the governor in terms of expanding investment frontiers for the state. We'll back shortly. Do stay with us.
Watch Skyline News on MyComsat and Free TV. Stay connected wherever you are by streaming us live on the Free TV app available for both.
But when it doesn't, I find a lot of efforts towards damage control. But I want you to do our viewers a favor this morning by helping them understand really when these reports come out, because we are in an electionary year already.
Of course.
So you can have on the one hand opposition weaponizing these figures. On the other hand, the government of the day trying to hide some aspect of these figures just to look good in the eye of the public. So where exactly do we stand today? Is it those states indebted at a level that should bother citizens?
No. First of all, let me explain. The DMO report specifically talks about domestic debts.
Right.
Domestic debt are owings of governments to contractors, contract other liabilities, borrowing from banks, bonds, and guaranteed securities. That is what constitutes domestic debts. And in the case of Edo State, you remember we had a program last year, around June last year, where the state governor became a guarantor to a 100 billion First Bank project finance with its contractor that are handling critical projects.
Which was misconstrued for borrowing.
Right. It was never a direct, not that the state government went to the bank to borrow 100 billion or any amount of money. Rather, the state government stood as guarantor for contractors that were working for the state government, handling critical projects, to be able to access from that 100 billion naira 40-month tenured project finance facility, so that instead of delay in payments that will lead to stoppage of work on those critical projects, to forestall, to make sure there's no positing of funding on this project, the government created or became a guarantor for those contractors to access those facilities, the facility in First Bank, so that the project can continue. Because there's always a time lag between FAC allocation and when it is due and when it is received. For example, we are in August right now. I don't think any state in Nigeria has received June FAC allocation.
June?
Yeah.
Not even July?
Exactly. So are you now going to say that some of your contractors that are in your site, if after completing the percentage of job that you have paid them, because when you issue a contract at 100%, for example, you may say, I'm paying you, mobilization is 15% or 20%, depending on the procurement laws of that particular state or the government. And when you mobilize the contractor to site at 20-25%, when he has done the 25% of the job,
he comes back.
The engineers from the Ministry of Works or the respective agency overseeing the activities of such project will come and do assessment and evaluate and now issue certificate of job completed at 25%
at that level.
That is what you use again to seek for reimbursement going forward. Remember, every project have a timeline. Imagine a project of 24 months, and because there's the timing of resource availability to finance the project is now leading to the contractor not being paid on time. The contractor will pull out of sight within that 3 months. And when the contractor is coming back to site, whenever you now get your FAC allocation, he's telling you that there is variation in contract. What is contract variation? He's not telling you that between the period he pull out of site and between the period you are now reimbursing to go back to site, there is changes in price of material.
Inflation, for example.
Inflations must have affected the material. So the contract sum will now be increasing. And you now see the government coming out that a project I initially awarded for 17 billion because of changes in because of a time lag and whatever delays, the contract is now 25 billion. The same citizens will react that this government is eating money and all that. Remember what happened to Radisson Blue Hotel? Initially 17 billion bond. At the end of the day, we ended up spending 27 billion. From there, it skyrocketed to 30 billion that the state government of Obaseki had to now evolve PPP. Originally, the idea was to build an Edo state-owned tourism hotel. But when the team, there was constant variation in the activities of the project, then it needed to now involve PPP. You understand? To avoid all these things, that was when the ingenious project financing model was brought to bear by His Excellency Governor Monday Okpebholo, whereby only the state government stood as guarantor. So whatever credits in amount that is credited to the contractor account become a debit to the guarantor. These are pure public finance arrangement. This model should even be copied by other state government. But as far as DMO office is concerned, they will capture it as a debt. Remember, I said 40 more tenure. You understand? Which is about roughly around 3 years plus. You understand? Right. What if after 3 years, because when the government is now paying the contractor, the government is no longer paying to the contractor, it's paid to the bank. Whenever the fact comes, percentage of work done or to reimburse the contractor to move back to the bank, you pay to the bank, and that payment to the bank will defray. In the next quarter, maybe when the DMO report comes again, you will discover the changes in this debt figure. And that this debt figure of 81, the difference is 81 billion increase. It may not even be there again.
I'm just curious.
So as a guarantor, just like you guarantee me for a bank facility,
right?
For whatever reason, as far as you said, you are standing in for me, that whatever that is given to me should be debited to you. You will bear the debt. The debt will be in your name. That is just what happened. Not that the Excellency Governor Monday Okpebholo went to the capital market.
In the event that you default, the bank holds me responsible. So
we are saying the same thing because there is not even room for.
So is that not technically a debt already?
Technically, that's why I said debt different from borrowing.
But ultimately, there's financial obligation.
Financial obligation on the state government to finance the contractor's project. And whereby the state government, remember, there is continuity, there's no exactly. So the government is saying, instead of paying the contractor the money, when the FAC allocation comes, you pay to the bank.
But I want to ask you this.
And this is without interest being borne by the government. There is no interest financing that, at the end of the month, the government need to finance
or service
the debt.
Is it categorically valid to say, Governor Monday Okpebholo has been in office now for give or take 21 months, which is
20 months.
Okay, 20 months. All right. Is it categorically valid or correct to say he has not borrowed?
Absolutely, he has not borrowed a dime from any bank or collected money from the bond market.
So
he has a guaranteed project finance debt guaranteed for contractors that are working in Edo State. For example, the Sapele Bini is a federal road. Bini Sapele Warri Road is a federal road. In February 2025, he met with the president and the minister of work. He took over the road. That project runs in billions, and that project has not stopped for one day. Right now, they are close to Ologbo. After Ologbo is the boundary. In fact, Ologbo is the boundary town
between both states.
Delta State and Edo State.
Right.
You understand? That project has not stopped for one day. The flyover, Rama Park flyover, is the longest flyover undertaken by any state government in Nigeria. That project has not stopped for one day. They are almost 95 to 97% completion. The Sapele Road, between Sapele Road, Dume Junction and this one Junction flyover also. That is a federal government. That is a federal road. That project is about 40%. Since it started this year, it has not stopped. Work goes on even during rains. Work has been ongoing there. If the contractors are not constantly and regularly being reimbursed, do you think those jobs will continuously be going on? As we speak today, the Bini Auchi Road, Bini Ekpoma Irua to Ewu to Agbede Auchi Road is ongoing. As we speak, we are close to Benefit Aflami in Ewu and heading towards the slope to get to Agbede in Esako West, all the way from Iruepe in Esa Central, in Edo Central. Now we are heading to Edo North. And if you are on that stretch of the road again, from Adiele to Edo to Agbede, it's also coming from that end. While from the Irua Ewu side, it's coming from the other end. Everything almost getting been done. These are all projects that have not stopped. If there was not this project finance model of standing as a guarantor for these project executors to have access to constant funding from that particular 100 billion facility, maybe we would have been having a snail-like motion or movement in this project execution. So it's safe to say that this government of His Excellency Senator Monday Okpebholo has not borrowed a dime from any bank, but has stood as guarantor for a project finance arrangement between vetted contractors and specific contractors handling critical projects in Edo State. Secondly, the same government have paid in the same ranking, the same DMO release that the state government has paid $29 million for a foreign loan that they inherited, that they did not incur. But that one never became headline. The same debt management office also said that the state government of His Excellency Senator Monday Okpebholo has paid 30 billion from the domestic debt he inherited. That never made headline. That is the irony of selective narrative that you have in the Nigerian media space. And people run political narrative on it. And social media has become a platform where all sort of misleading information is spread.
Assuming, without conceding, that Governor Monday Okpebholo has not borrowed a dime, I mean to use your word, since he assumed office, can we say we are attributing that reality to the, if you like, bump in federal allocation coming to the state? Is that the reason? Not
necessarily, because we have a lot of it's not the highest among the states that are receiving federal allocation.
But it's not the state that has the most demands in terms of public.
Why do you think it's not the state that has the most demand? The infrastructural deficit in Edo State that inherited is something else. I just told you.
Is that the highest? It's even one of the 5 highest.
Of course, it's among. I just told you of a total liability of inheriting a balance sheet liability of almost 700 billion in debt. Is that not enough? And you are defrailing it, and this government is defrailing it. Not to talk of the fact that
aside the federal,
the state has been voted as number 5th on fiscal governance management, performance management.
So nationwide, what are the fundamentals? Is it IGRO? Is it external?
Yeah, of course. We are right now. We are number 8 on the state with the least reliance on the FAC allocation. We score 74%. Edo State score 74%. Our IGR now has increased to the extent that we only rely on 26% on FAC allocation, all things being equal. Look at the budget now. I just explained to you, if you add PPP, the figure in public-private partnership investment drive to finance deficit, add it with the capital receipts figure, add it to the IGR figure, It's almost more than, it's more than the FAC allocation, because the FAC allocation in the 2026 budget stood at about 440 billion. So all things being equal, if FAC stop today, we will only suffer 26% in revenue needs to drive the state. That means conveniently we can take on recurrent expenditure, because in the budget 68% is going to capital consign. Before its administration, the state was relying on FAC allocation more than almost 70%. But now the state is relying on FAC at 26%. Before his government, Edo State was number 5th in Nigeria, among the 5 top states that were borrowing month by month on the created budget support fund from Central Bank under Emefiele. Edo State, we were borrowing to pay salary. Right now, we are creating a model of project financing to drive capital projects, not borrow to pay salary.
I've spoken to some very brilliant economists, financial experts like yourself, who also say that it was not a peculiarity to Edo State, because they say that even the federal government under the late former President Buhari also borrowed to pay salary. So I'm even talking of 2024 subsidy. Removal happened May 2023. Right. There were in 2023 budget, Edo State was least to Zamfara State, the lowest state with provision for budgets. Governor's office budgetary allocation in 2023-2024 budget was more than that of education budget. Remember, the state borrowed $75 million from World Bank to drive education. Edo Best. That we never saw the light of the day. Today, His Excellency Senator Monday Okpebholo has delivered 68 schools, and ongoing, the target is 100 schools across primary, secondary. I'm not talking of the higher institutions in Edo State that they has increased their funding. Abu Salih University, from 40 million a month monthly subvention from the former administration to about 500 million. Edo University, Iyamo, to 250 million from 100 million. Now, I'm not going to ask you about the status of Edo University. I want to ask you about infrastructure, road in particular in this case. Exactly. And then efforts being made for, if you like, remediation in terms of flooding in the state. I want to get to something. When you have this kind of conversation, both people who are from Edo and those who are not will be wowed. They feel impressed about it. But when you listen to people who have a different side to this story, they say, how can the government of Senator Monday Okpebholo say we have done this and this and this and this and this, but then there are bad roads in the GRA where the government house is domiciled, including roads that leads directly to the government house? How do you explain that irony? Okay, there's nothing ironic about it. First of all, the politics in Nigeria, politics of governance in Nigeria is centered around not constructive criticism but fault findings. So when fault finders are driving narrative, it's different from where critics, genuine critics, who actually mean well. Senator Monday Okpebholo talking about practical governance. Every project I've measured today from Benin Sapele Road is visible. You can see it. If you have your slides here, you should be showing it to Nigerians too. The flyovers I'm talking about, they are there. 500 kilometers of roads under construction across 18 local government. Now to the GRA road. This is the same GRA that former Governor Obaseki said they have constructed all the roads. Are you now saying those roads failed within the last 20 months? There is no single road in GRA with drainage system. Uyi, you've been in Benin, you were in ITV, you have worked in Benin. Is there any road within GRA with a drainage system to channel the water? And now, His Excellency Senator Monday Okpebholo has completed a feasibility plan and study which have been submitted. The consultant have submitted it in about 2 weeks ago. Total remodeling, because it's going to be in 3 phases: phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, to revamp and reconstruct the roads in GRA with drainage channel 1 to the Sapele Road side for exactly the drainage. In partnership with the NUMA program and the EDOFEM and the Edo State Flood and Erosion Control Agency under the leadership of Mohammed Bawa Okoyomo. The other one is the channel to Ogba River, so that we have permanent solution. Instead of giving palliative measure to the potholes that will also fail, because we are in the heat of rainy season, and Edo and rains. These are not major roads that will say, okay, these are express federal, these are internal roads within GRA. And we are talking of
absence of drainage system that has been making the roads to fail. So will you continue to be giving palliative measure where you have the opportunity to give a holistic approach without preempting the total cost of remodeling those roads? It's in billions, and the remodeling plan has just been submitted. Within the next few months, job will commence as far as GRA. So it's providing, is redesigning and reconstructing the roads, and also redesigning and creating what never existed, which is drainage system. All the big men in Edo State all live in GRA, building their road to the main road without drainage. You know, all the big hotels are in GRA without drainage in front of hotels. Even the Radisson Blue Hotel that Obaseki sank more than 32 billion into, that is still ongoing as we speak. There is no drainage at the front of that massive edifice. That is the real irony. When you see the makers of beautiful mortars pounding their yard with broken pestles.
Okay, so let me borrow that beautiful mortar pounding their yard. Okay, so I want to talk about issues around some of the projects that we can categorically say the governor has prioritized. The flyovers, for example. There are people who say that priority is misplaced because they say there are more pressing issues. There are worse roads in Edo than you need a flyover in Benin.
What is the
talk to our viewers about what makes it a necessity to introduce flyover?
You know, as I said, it's funny and it's rather unfortunate because we have lived in Benin. I was born and raised in Benin. You were born and raised in Benin, Uyi. You know what the traffic, the productivity, manpower loss, productivity performance reduction, and the time loss when you are caught in the middle of traffic in Rama Park, especially during the Oregbeni market day. This is a junction or a major outfit that lead to Ubaslope from the other side, which is the major entrance to the main Benin city, where you have the Murtala Mohammed Way, the Ababa Road, and by extension the new Benin side. This is a particular place that has linked directly to Delta State and by extension the eastern part of the country. This is a particular place that has linked directly to Aduawa and by extension the Edo Central, Edo North, and the northern part of Nigeria. Isn't it? How important such place should be. And this particular place had no single alternative because there is a Ikoba River there.
Right.
There's no alternative route that you can say, I'm going to go through this and go through that to escape it when you are hooked in that place. And people are living even beyond. In Umode is almost in Benin. Umode is outside the Aduawa. And just because you want to critique, these people came and said that Senator Monday Okpolo was not building anything. That is just light of flyover. By the time they saw the beam be erected, they said it's going to be a abandoned project. By the time the project became more visible to everybody, do you know how many adjoining streets and roads around the flyover alone? Let's leave the flyover. Do you know the massive erosion control that even the military barrack that is in Rama Park, Nigerian Army barrack, we have the Army Day Secondary School that was swallowed with flood and erosion. Today, that building is back to life. The erosion in the process of building the flyover, the governor mandated the contractor that every adjoining road and street, including Obaseki streets, Jemila Junction, and the erosion issue in that place, Lucky Way, they were all constructed. And remember INEC office around Iyayi property there. Right. This is a no-go area. Remember the High Court, the Benin High Court that was there, Appeal Court. This is a no-go area in those days. Today, the erosion issue in all that area has been curbed. Livelihood, economic activity have returned to this area. Army Day Secondary School was not just saved, was totally reconstructed and rebuilt. People are now withdrawing their awards for private schools to this school. You still talk about importance of infrastructure. How many roads in Benin is housing 5 local government right now? Umode is now part of Benin. Ipobaha is in Benin City. Oredo is in Benin City. local government is in Benin City, and part of Obja, you just see the Oku Junction now. That palliative work is being done. The plan is to do a drug. That's the federal road.
Is that far-reaching?
The far-reaching, I just thought is the captured in 2026 budget.
Would that be holistic?
The holistic approach is to create a dual carriage road that leads to Sobe and Onwa. Remember, that is also a federal road. That you are connecting Edo South to Edo North from that axis. Onwa is in Edo North. Are we going to talk of the Ewotubu Road? That is the heart of Benin. What of the Upper Siloko Road? Ego local government. Heart of Benin. People of Ewotubu have not had access road for 15 years. Today they are jubilating. These are completed projects. What of the Upper Ekewa Road that the governor had to extend after it was abandoned by the previous administration? He did not just continue, he extended it beyond the military barrack in Ekewa Barrack. And by extension, constructed a brand new school for Ekewa for the barrack. And it was commissioned. And they created a channel erosion retention center in that Ekewa Road. Completed to retain water. The Ogege axis of the Sapele Road. 5 roads adjoining street are being constructed even as you are building the flyover bridge. For every flyover is building, every adjoining road, associated road is constructed along. So that you don't, the impact of, you cannot be building one critical project and be creating erosion issue for the area.
For what you have said so far, I mean, if we...
This is just road. Yeah. Because the full agenda is shine agenda.
Yeah, right.
S is for security. Today, are we talking about security again in Edo State? The palpable insecurity has reduced. H is for earth. We are now number 9.
By what ranking?
Health preparedness in Nigeria.
By what ranking?
Primary health care preparedness. 78 PSA primary health centers are being built across 18 local government, equipped and empowered with employment, graduate employment to man them across every rural area and urban area. So that you don't say you go to a primary health center, you did not meet any staff. We now have primary health care workers, both medical and paramedical and non-medical, both administrative, 1,300. Just 2 weeks ago, they increased their salary by 53%, unprecedented. What was our figure? Let's check the ease of doing business. Before his administration, we were 37 out of 36 states and FCT on ease of doing business, even when we had the secular economy ministry. Under the administration of the so-called educated technocrats. Today, what is the figure? I think we are around number 8 on ease of doing business. Why do you think the foreign direct investors are trickling in? Are we going to talk about the electricity and power drive? 100 megawatts is being built. I will send you the video. These are practical. This is not MOU signing. IZ Energy is driving 7.7% mini grid solar power electricity. Alimat Hospital in Okpela in Edo North is building 3 megawatt electricity plants to cover the Edo North axis. While the government has built 11 kVA, 33 kVA substations in Edo Central. Inside the earth, 150 beds, International Model Hospital. In Edo Central, under construction, more than 80%, starting from foundation. Is it the Edo State Earth Institute that has now been decentralized? One in Benin, one being built in Edo Central too. The 500 kilometers of road cut across every local government. In your local government, between Aochi to Ibilo, that connect to Okene, is a federal road. As we speak, it's being constructed. That is Akoko Edo local government, where you hail from.
Okay, well, I think that would be a reason.
Maybe you have to be going home regularly.
Yes, so I can do my own assessment.
Absolutely.
Yeah, right. But I think one of the things highlighted in this conversation is to say that state governments must sit up and do their job.
Of course, they must.
So Nigerians don't have to run to Abuja, to the presidency for toothpick and for...
Of course. Independent outfit have rated the state on budget implementation performance.
Well, I think that will give us a basis to further
82%
some other time.
Budget implementation.
Right.
No states. Few states, only Lagos State.
I'm afraid this is the much time we'll allow us to take on this conversation. We are so grateful to you, Honorable
Haruna Brimo is the special advisor to Edo State Governor Senator Monday Okpebholo on public affairs and media, here to talk about not just what the governor is doing or the state government is doing, but what the subnationals ordinarily should be doing for their people, given all of the latitude, the fiscal latitude that they have in this regard. Again, starting with the fact that we now see a very significant increase in the monthly allocations that they receive. Once again, we're grateful to you for your time.
Thank you so much.
Great. So we're taking a quick break now, everyone. When we return, my colleague and I will tie it up here on the morning call. Do stay with us. All right, let's tie it up here on the morning call, but we'd like to say big thank you to you for your company on this breakfast outing here on Skyline News. I'm Uyi Agmofwebe.
And I'm Maureen Ohaniel. Thank you for sharing this morning with us. Do have a very beautiful day.